Well, shit. It's here. Week 15, fantasy football playoffs. And we're here to help out. It's a Sunday social coming to you on Sunday mornings like usual. And here with me, as always, to start off the show is my main man, Dylan. And
What
then
up?
our main betting man below, Alan. What's up, Alan?
Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm without sleep. I drove my aunts to freaking Maryland to my uncle's surprise party, and in order to get to the show, I had them get up super early so we could drive back. And my dumb ass was like, "The show's at 10. We got to get on the road." And I get here, I joined the stream link and everything, and realized it was 10:30. I was like, "Son of a bitch!" I'm so
I was
stupid, man.
wondering. I was like, yeah, Alan's here
I'm
already
never
for the
early,
show.
right? Yeah, I'm never early. And I've been sitting here for 30 minutes, like everybody's late. What the hell? And then I was like, oh, it's 10:30. Shit.
Daylight savings time. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's funny though. It's nice to have you like every week though, Alan. We love having you here discussing, your bets for the week. And then since we are not able to have Joe on or Ike for the ranking segment, Al is just going to fill in for Joe and Ike, and he's going to recap a little bit of his bets yesterday because I know Al had a video go out yesterday where he was kind of, recapping some of his bets that he took. So before we get into that, though, guys, make sure you do hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you like us, and, hit the bell for notifications if you're interested in our content that comes out daily. And then make sure you go on to fantasy6pack.net/plans because it's playoff time, guys. You want, customizable advice, customizable questions. AI, it's goddamn playoffs. You got to get that membership. All right, you get full access to all three of us here. You get Dave, Eddy, Chris, Robbin with the DFS, Alan and Keith with their bets of the week. I mean, you get Joe with his ranking, Ike with his rankings, Nick Spencer with his rankings. I mean, all these guys do put in a lot of effort into these, into this content for you guys so you guys can succeed. So take advantage of it if you can, and you can use promo code FF Playoffs for a 25% off on that Discord membership as well. But without further ado, all right, Alan, you are here to recap some of your bets yesterday. How'd things go? How did everything play out?
Yeah. I'm a little mad, man. All right, first of all, I took a highly miscalculated risk on the Steelers. So look, man, I'm trying so hard, and if I'm yelling, it's because there's no sound coming through my headphones of my voice. So I apologize. I could do like this, I guess. But anyway, I am trying so hard to give the Steelers a chance, and I'll admit I'm biased. Mike Tomlin's one of the few black coaches that actually looks like he knows what the hell he's doing. So like I feel obligated. Like we're brothers in this, man. But you are killing me. You're killing. There was no reason for them to get beat like that. Like absolutely no reason. And when Minka went out, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but that safety they put in had no fucking clue what he was doing. They got 14 points. I kid you not. I got all 22 access. I will run the tape back for people to see. But when they put him in, they got 14 points specifically of targeting his dumb ass. They were playing man, he's in zone. They were playing zone, he's in man. I'm like, dude, do you know what you're doing? Like, I'm so sick and tired of NFL.
Do you know the play call?
Yeah, but if you're practice squad, you are 100% need to know the game plan because you don't get to play. So you're hoping you get your opportunity. So wouldn't you be the most prepared person?
You should be.
Yeah, he had no clue. And then this whole concept of leaving the best edge rushers on opposing teams to come free. I feel like I've been saying this for 2 months. What is wrong? Like no soon the Colts decided, hey, we should probably block TJ Watt. They started scoring. It was like, yeah, you should stop rolling your protections away from TJ Watt. That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Nah, let's run right into him, and then we're gonna run our play action rollouts in the direction of Watt, and he's gonna be a free runner. It's a great plan.
But yeah, I got hit with the good old 1-1-1. So I covered with my Lions bet, which I'm not gonna lie, I followed the money on that. I've been low on the Lions. I said it on the podcast. Not a big fan of the Lions against the number right now, but there was just so much positive traction from sharps and the public that I just felt like I'd be stupid to fade them. So I just went with it. Didn't even buy the hook down. I took it twice. I took it at 4 and it was up to 5.5 and it was still getting a ton of money. So I doubled down right before kickoff. And I mean, you guys saw the game. They blew them out.
I was going to say, you didn't even sweat.
Nah.
And Jared Goff's a different guy at home. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not playing the Bears.
I always joke him that he's a robot, so he gets like a iOS upgrade when he's at home in the dome. He's really good, man. He's a top 5 quarterback in that stadium, man. But if you take him outside that stadium, if you get out your service range, it's a wrap. But the Bengals game, I didn't want to take Tricky Nicky because I knew those turnovers would come up at some point. As a Niner fan, most of us should be familiar with this guy and what he does. But he does help the offense in the sense that he's not afraid to throw it, but he also hurts them because he's not afraid to throw it. And
that touchdown he had to Addison, the second one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Everybody was just holding their breath. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? Throw the ball away. Is he going to get sacked? No, touchdown. It's like it's exactly what you explained. It's like he can help you because he's not afraid to sling the ball in that case. But man, earlier in the game, he had a red zone turnover because he just slung the ball and threw a pick in the red zone. So it was a dual-edged sword for Nicky yesterday.
Yeah, and I get on the road, get to Maryland thinking I got a cover, and I found out I pushed. And so I had to go back and recap that shit on my own. And you can imagine my reaction when I saw what happened. Like, what just happened? I should be happy to get a push, I guess. And then, like I said, my only loss was that Steelers game. I took the risk. I knew it. I'm in a contest where I'm 1 point behind the guy, and it's probably like winner probably gets about like $600-700, which in the grand scheme of most of my contests is nothing. But hell, it's $600-700 more than I had when I entered the contest. So I want to win, but we're stuck in this rux where I'll go 5-0, he'll go 4-1, then I'll go 4-1, he'll go 5-0. So I was trying to break it by being contrarian, but that didn't work out for me yesterday. So that's where I'm at. But I got a lot of stuff for today. If anybody just wants to do the DJ special and just throw everything out there. Prop wise, I'll start with the props. I went with 2 running backs, James Conner plus 135, anytime scorer, and Raheem Mostert plus 105, anytime scorer. I think both those options are logical. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals give us a fit today, but also wouldn't be surprised if we somehow blow them out. But division games can be a little weird. Connor wants to be physical. He absolutely hates our defense. Our defense absolutely hates him. Expect Greenlaw to try to decapitate him if he can. Like, he has no love for that defense. Like, I think the last time we played them and he was healthy, he tried to fight like half the team. So it's not any love lost between the two. So I expect him to be physical. When he's motivated, as you guys saw in the Pittsburgh game, he is a monster. So hopefully we get that. And then with Raheem Mostert, like, if they're going to get in the red zone and they're going to score, they probably use him. I don't expect there not to be an emphasis on getting him touches. And with him and that backfield, like they find enough touches that you get opportunities to score. Tyreek Hill's status is still up in the air. I think I saw before I got on, he's going to go through a workout. I'm 99.9% sure his ankle would have to be falling off for him not to play.
Yeah,
but with that being said, he's not going to be 100%. Expect them to probably 3 or 4 options where they would have passed the more likely run. Kind of helps you out a little bit more with Mostert. And expect to see him and I always butcher his name, but Devin featured more in the passing game because Tua's he's people hate to say it, but he's still a one-read guy. I'm sorry. He's not progressing through a lot of his reads. He'll probably check down, get it to the speed guys, get it out the way. And with their speed and the setup of the Jets defense, I would assume that's still a mismatch. Like, I love the Jets defense, but they're not the fastest guys, especially in the linebacking core. And even if you come down and you switch up packages and you got smaller guys out to cover those backs, then they're going to power game you. So it's kind of Salah's got his work cut out for him today. And if anybody could, he could, because he knows Mike. He knows that system. So it's gonna. I think it'll be probably the game of the week as far as like what's going on each sideline. I know people don't like to watch the Jets, but it's a coach who knows a coach, and they're both at disadvantages because of that relationship. I think it'll make it interesting.
Yep. Achan is also coming into this one banged up as well, dealing with a little bit of turf toe. So I wonder if if he's going to be on a little bit of a pinch count, maybe, which bodes well for Mostert, obviously, in that anytime touchdown bet for sure.
I've had turf toe before. It is the worst. I remember making fun of Dion. Yeah, it was awful. I had to like do this like weird tape thing with my toe to get it to like flex so it wouldn't like bend. Oh, it was the worst. Travis Kelce is -110 to score anytime. I don't understand that stat. Like, I don't understand that line. Like, has somebody forgotten they have no receivers? Like, come on, man. If he doesn't score, then I will join.
I'd take offense to that because it's Rashee Rice season, baby.
Yeah, well, you know what? Rashee is he's the new age Keyshawn, man. He gets you all the way down there, can't score to save his life, man. Like, they get in the red zone and forget about him. I'm like, dude. But I was gonna say, for the Chiefs, if Kelce does not score today against this team, I'm with everybody. The NFL's rigged. It's rigged. I better see unlimited targets. He better throw to him like Taylor Swift is on the sideline screaming his name. Like, there's no reason for him not to get 15 targets this game and 14 of those be in the red zone. Like, if they get a chance to score, and I know with the Chiefs, they probably want to pour it on somebody anyway. And there's no love lost between them and the Patriots. So why not kick them while they're down? Brady's not there, but Bill's still there, so it doesn't matter. So I got him to score. And then I figure if you do three that are kind of quote-unquote obvious, you got to take a chance on your fourth option because I don't know about everybody else, but a lot of my parlays, if I hit 4 or more, there's always one in there that somebody would be like, why would you even play that? So why would you even play that bet this week is Tyler Lockett plus 235 to score anytime. Why would I play that? Because one, he's playing against a team where if you're going to beat the Eagles, you got to blow the top off that defense. And that's not hard to do. And it just came out that Slay had some kind of knee surgery or something. Does that really matter? They suck. The secondary sucks. It's the worst secondary of any good defense that we've seen in a long time. And I feel like this is a Lockett game. Like, get deep, get behind these guys. You're faster than most of them. Eat them up. Like, I mean, if emphasis in the red zone is going to be put on somebody, it's probably going to be DK. If you're not going to go with Lockett, I would go with Njobu. I think is how they say his name. But JSN, I would try a shot with him too. Just be contrarian if you're running with the Seahawks touchdowns today. Like, just, I mean, again, it doesn't have to be Tyler Lockett, but don't let your fourth leg be DK Metcalf and you get pissed because he just went for 3 or 4 touchdowns the game before and he doesn't get anything today. Like, just go with a nice little long shot there for your last one. Yeah, and then go ahead.
I was just gonna say it might help Lockett a little bit if Geno's not going. If Geno's not there too, Drew Lock likes to sling it, and we saw Lockett produce last week. I think he went like 6 for 86 at a touchdown last week with Lock. I know Metcalf got ejected in that game, but I like that call. And those odds are those odds plus 235.
DK
nice.
DK's a weirdo, man. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is sick too, apparently. So I don't know if anybody wanted to look into maybe some contrarian stuff over there. I stayed away from it just because, like, these 3 hours to go sicknesses, man. Like, you knew he was sick all week, man. like how much did he practice? What's going on? Well, we already saw what kind of practices they were doing. It's probably from hitting the ground so much on that fumble drill. He upset his stomach. So I wouldn't make fun of Sirianni, but he did have that thing when his rookie season. I'll never forget it. He gave them some speech about flowers or something really goofy, and I started calling them Bob Ross. But I swear to God, they've won every game just about since he gave that dumbass speech. So I'm gonna leave him alone, man. Maybe he knows something I don't know. It's a different approach.
Is it as bad as the speech that JJ informed me about like a week ago with Sean McDermott and his? Oh no, it's not the kamikaze speech.
Yeah.
God, like, what would make you make that comparison? I still can't get over that. Like,
I don't know.
Community like Osama and them. Like, what the hell?
They were such a good team. They worked as a team so well. It's like, how do you make that compare? Can't you find like the miracle, the dream, the miracle, on ice from the Olympics or something like that?
Anything. I'd be like, like me and my squad on Fortnite or something, like anything.
Yeah.
Anything other than what you
Fortnite,
just said. Yeah.
Me and my boys, we got comms all day. We're taking down dual shots.
Yeah. Like, what the heck, man? And then so for the spread bets. Oh, sorry, one more. Give a look to the Packers receivers and stuff today. I think it's a good matchup. I looked over the Bucks defensive stats there. I mean, most people have like noticeable splits nowadays anyway, but really it's more about Jordan Love bouncing back here because he didn't have such a great game against the Giants on the road. But he's going for like 260 plus at home over the last like month.
Sure.
I think this is a favorable matchup against a defense is not necessarily that aggressive. So anything affiliated with their passing with the Packers today should be some kind of a boost, whether you want to play solo, you do DFS or anything like that. I would just give it a look. Spread wise,
Christian Watson out too as well.
Oh yeah, spread wise, my WTF bet of the week: Bears money line, baby.
Let's go.
I'm back.
Why not? The Vikings lost. I mean, the Bears are, that much closer to actually making a push for the playoffs realistically somehow. So why not?
You know what it is? You just pay Joe Flacco. You never pay them. Once you pay them, they suck every single time. You can never pay them. You have to dangle the carrot and pay them like right before the playoffs or something like that. You don't pay him in the middle of the fight, man. Now he's good. He's set. They dumped in the practice squad, worked out a little deal, give him some incentives. Like, Joe Flacco don't need incentives, man. He's like 45. Like, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings, right? Doesn't he have 2?
Just one.
One. Okay, one. All right, so he's got a Super Bowl ring. Yeah, like, what's his motivation? He's here to like, this was his retirement supplement. Like, I'm collecting 2 checks right now. Is basically what he's thinking in his head. So
it's like, I'm not ready for broadcasting yet. We're gonna go be the backup.
And the Bears.
Yeah, he was a guy who was flying coach on his way to Cleveland too. So he could probably he was needing that money, like you said.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. He also never replaced his car at his rookie season. I just think he's tight. He had like a beater car or something. I remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember that story because he went to Delaware. I remember that story. I was like, what? Dude, at least get an updated car. Like, not asking you to buy a mansion. Like, come on. But the Bears +3, I think is a good number. Getting points with the Bears in an environment that really doesn't. It's no different from Soldier Field with the weather, like the wind, the rain. Like, they're all used to that. Bears defense very underrated, honestly, considering how bad their air quote record was. Even during the time where their record was bad, there was elements that the defense was okay. I had said on a couple podcasts, all they really needed was a premier pass rusher. Apparently, Sweat is that guy, or Sweet, whatever you want to Sweat. He changes his up.
The Bears fans find it sweet, but
okay, yeah. But I mean, he's obviously changed the face of the defense a little. Having somebody that can get after the quarterback changes things, makes it easier for everybody else. But they're playing high right now, and I think they had a shot. Browns, I mean, got plenty of motivation because it's tight in the AFC now, and you don't want to drop a game like this. But again, Justin Fields is the X factor. If he gets loose, he gets busy, then you got something there. Giants +5.5. I don't think there's any team in the league the Saints can beat by more than 3. They're not a good team.
100% fair.
Yeah, they're not a good team, and I could be wrong. That's what I was going to say. I could be dead wrong. But if you're telling me I'm getting 5 with a team that typically is only going to score 6 to 9, I'll take that shit. I don't care who's playing. I'll just take the L and try again next week because I'll probably get it right next week. Like, this team is not good in New Orleans.
Yeah.
21st in passing touchdowns and 17th in rushing touchdowns. They just cannot really score.
And I guess Chris Olave is trending in the wrong direction. I heard today, like, it would be kind of a surprise if he actually is a go. So that's going to hurt the Saints offense, obviously, too.
And I've never seen offensive line collectively curse out a quarterback in my history watching football. And these dudes were like, "Yo, I'm not blocking for your son."
Yeah,
It was crazy. I've seen arguments, but like it was like a mutiny, man. It's like we need a new captain. Throw him overboard.
God damn it. Get Jameson here. Get Jameson here.
How bad is Jameis that you can't replace Derek Carr?
He's still pretty bad. I think it's the predictability. Like, we don't know when Derek Carr is going to be bad and it's going to show up. We just know it's going to happen. Jameis Winston, you can predict for every touchdown, there's an interception. So sure. I think that's probably where they're at with that. And they're paying Carr so much money. It's ridiculous.
He used some of that to get his old lineman a Christmas gift. So maybe they want to block for him again.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, I want to say he's a good guy, but then he said some dumb stuff at his last press conference, and I was like, never mind. And then hit the 50-50 game, the Bills-Cowboys. I mean, there's every gambling indication that you should fade Dallas, and that's what I'm doing. This is purely a gambling fade. The Bills, I think they've got another secondary injury with Hyde. I don't think he's going to play. And I mean, pound for pound, they're not better than the Cowboys right now. Cowboys are on a high, but that's why gambling logic says you should fade them. They just won that big game against the Eagles. They're on the road, out in the elements. They're a dome team. You don't even need my numbers to know that their road splits are absolutely horrible compared to everything, especially their defense. They don't play that well on the road, apparently.
Right.
And I mean, again, losses in Arizona, losses in San Francisco, struggles in other spots. So this is, like I said, a pure gambling fade. I'm laying the two with the Bills. Most of their games are typically coming down to the last drive anyway. And I hope it's not Dak's fault that they lose, but that's what everybody's anticipating. The guy needs a break, man. I'm not a Dak sympathizer, but he's for where he was drafted and for what he's done, he's played extremely well. I would have never thought that Dak Prescott would be like, in the position that he's in when he got drafted. I thought for sure he wouldn't be in the league after this one.
Yeah, quarterbacks don't.
Yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback, and he's in his seventh year. And there's still people who are saying that he shouldn't get paid, that he should have to play for a contract. I'm like, what? Like, look at his numbers, man. Like, compared to the people who are getting, Derek Carr is getting paid, man, and nobody complains about that. So Dak can't get. Come on, man. But anyway,
the Saints fans sure are.
Yeah, right. But I think again, if Dallas loses, it sucks for them for twofold. One, they're gonna have to hope that the Eagles fall on one of these sorry games towards the end, and then two, it kind of does kill a little bit of momentum because then all the this is what the Cowboys do type stuff will start again. I personally, as a Niner fan, want the Cowboys to win out. So when they get into the playoffs and we go up 17-0 on them, then they start feeling like this is what happens to us. And then the last one is the Jets game. So the Jets got whipped the last time they played the Dolphins. I'm trying to remember what happened. I think it was just that the Dolphins, they were just doing their thing in the early portion of the season. But this Dolphins team, after losing to the Titans and struggling in spots like against the Raiders, they had a big spread against the Raiders. They didn't cover that either. I think 8 with a divisional opponent who has plenty of motivation. Aaron Rodgers is cleared to play. Can we just get this win here and put ourselves in a position to get back into the playoff hunt? Because right now there's 3 teams with 6 losses. Like, you got to think one of those teams is the Bills. The Bills going to have to play the Dolphins, and then you got the Browns and the Bengals who are in the same division. They're going to have to play, and the Steelers who are also technically in the hunt. They suck, but they're 7-7 in the hunt. If you're the Jets, you've got an outside shot to put yourself in the playoffs if you win out. It's the longest of long shots, but your quarterback miraculously recovered from an Achilles tear or some crazy shit like that. He's 40 and he's Wolverine apparently. So you got a chance. Like, I expect them to come out and give some good effort here. And that works. Backdoor this. I don't see another blowout. We still don't know what the loss of Connor Williams is going to do to this offense. And yes, I hyped up Mozart to score, but you didn't hear me hype up them to cover the 8. So there's a reason for that. So I think and if Tyreek Hill doesn't play, then that should really give you some pause. And then to think that this line had opened up at 9.5, almost 10, is down to 8. It's been a lot of money put on the Jets over the week, man. And the news of Hill just came out that he might not play. Hasn't swayed the line at all. Like,
really?
People were still putting money on the Jets before that news came out, long before that news came out. So it lets me think that the line was too high. But be wary. Don't be taking this at the kickoff and it's down to 7 or something like that, and then get mad saying the NFL's rigged. No, you missed 2 points a week ago. That's your fault. Entry level matters, man. And I'm taking a risk taking the 8, so I bumped it up to 8.5 just in case. But there's so many people who bet NFL like casually that will hop in a situation like this and swear that the league is rigged when the team wins by 9. But it's like you catch that line at open, it was up to 9.5 until like Friday morning. So like that's your fault. You betting on Saturday, Sunday, man. Like, come on. So that's all I got. Good luck to me and everybody else that tells me, because man, some wild stuff on this card, man.
Could be a good day. Could be a good day.
Oh yeah, it could be a good day, and I could be ready to break something by 1:30. At least I'm at work, and I'm not on air, so anything I say will be fine.
Perfect.
We appreciate it as always, Alan. You coming on here, indulging us with your bets of the week, because let's be honest, me and Dylan don't even know where to start. Where you're kind of coming up here and kind of doing all the work for us, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are like So you coming on here really is a big help to kind of all those casual bettors. So we really appreciate it. I know everybody else appreciates it too. Just real quick, let everybody know where they can find you before you head on.
You can follow me at Actively Lazy 85. If you're a degenerate, I will be front and center at the famous Toastery Bowl on Monday against ODU. Sneak me a DM. Yeah, sneak me a DM and I'll give you some insight on that, but don't tell my job and don't expect me to put that on the official handle. Yeah, right.
Keep it on the down low, but we appreciate you as always, Alan. You have a great day and good luck on your bets. Hopefully it's a good
All right. Take care.
Take care. All right. Now it's time for everybody's been waiting for. All right. That's why you got all these questions in here. And we are going to get to them. But before we do, let's welcome on JJ. What's up going on, man? How you doing this morning?
What's up, guys? Doing pretty good outside of having to just go and swab Olave and probably Tyreek Hill out of my lineup. So other than that, doing pretty good. How about you guys?
All right. The Olave is kind of news to me. And I know Gary, just recently commented. He goes, is Olave playing? Unfortunately, Gary, the inactives have not come out. Usually about 10:30 Central. Yep. Yeah, Central Standard Times. They'll come out. So we'll be live when it comes out, and we'll let you know if you're sticking around.
Definitely that's trending in the wrong direction there from what I've read. So that's definitely not ideal.
I know I'm not a doctor, but I believe Hill will probably play more likely than Olave at this point.
Yeah,
definitely
probably.
Be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into our questions here, because I know you guys have been waiting so patiently, and we appreciate every one of you guys who've showed up here to support us. And make sure you get all your questions in, because your questions in the comments, they come first, and then we go to our backup well. Malcolm's here first. He's like, pick a flex for me, guys. He's got Travis Etienne, James Cook, and Zay Flowers. Oh, no, and not Zay Flowers, plus Jerome Ford. I mean,
so like, the Cook and Etienne both have pretty tough matchups, so that's tough. Those are kind of those are who I lean just right off the top of when I'm just looking at the names. But then you look at the matchups, it's like, man, that's tough. Baltimore is going against Jacksonville. Cleveland's got the best matchup. And I believe Ford's off the injury report, right? Like he's all good with his hand or wrist injury, whatever he was battling.
As far as I can tell, he was, yeah.
I don't know, man. I still feel like it's playoffs, man. You got to start your studs. Go with who got you here. I think I'm going to go Etienne.
I'm with you, man. I don't know where to go. Kind of. It's. I feel like tough. Whatever I tell you is going to be the wrong answer, and I don't want to give you the wrong answer, to be honest. Yeah, like Etienne gets Baltimore, not ideal. James Cook gets Dallas. Not ideal, obviously, but the weather could be an issue there. Maybe they check the ball down to him a bit more, get him more involved, and he has been more involved recently. Say Flowers. Mike, where are you going here? Well, I think this through still.
I'm just trying to find any reason to not start ETN because he's been the guy who's gotten you to the playoffs. I'm trying to find just one reason to not start him, but he's going to get the most work.
If there's one reason to not start him, it's because stuff like yesterday happened. T. Higgins goes off for 25 points out of nowhere, and it's just weird game, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you start your studs. I mean, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, brutal, and I mean, and the process was right. I mean, throughout the whole year, T. Higgins has not been great, so it's like sit him. But the process here is ETN has gotten you to the playoffs. So how do you sit that guy who's got it is that dilemma. It's like, do you sit the guy who got you to the playoffs because he has a bad matchup, or do you play the guy who's not as good as him in a better matchup, like Jerome Ford or Zay Flowers? But Jerome Ford's matchup's not much better too against the Bears.
Yeah, Jerome Ford's not really in contention here for me, to be honest with you. I think it's probably I lean with you guys here. I think it's ETN. But
it's ETN.
I get the dilemma for sure.
Yeah. Are you guys going James Cook second if you weren't going to go ETN?
It's James Cook second. Yeah.
I would go James Cook. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. But ETN Cook. Yep. I think we're all agreeing.
Yeah. It's just you got to go ETN. He's even involved in the passing game. He's got 56 targets on the year. So I mean. Yeah, man, that's a tough one, Malcolm. It's playoffs, but trust your studs, man. Trust your studs.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts downgraded to questionable with the illness for Monday night. So
wait, what?
Jalen Hurts questionable with an illness for tomorrow night's game, so just something to keep an eye on here.
No way he actually misses, right?
I would like to think not. So maybe go get Marcus Mariota on the roster if he misses. So.
Apparently, Shefty said the sickness worsened overnight.
I say I don't like it was downgraded because I thought he was already questionable. So how does he downgrade to more questionable? I'm not a big fan of that.
Definitely not ideal. So yes, monitor that.
What's up, Dane? Appreciate you for hanging around here. We're doing good. Hope you're doing well as well. He needs one QB, a flex, and a defense. So let's start it off with the QB then. We got Fields and Prescott. That one's Prescott. I know you want to.
Yeah, I don't know how you sit him right now.
Yeah, you can't sit him. He's QB1 at the moment. Like he's probably the MVP favorite as well. I mean, can you guys name the last? Dylan, don't answer this. Jordan, can you name the last Cowboys QB who won an MVP? Since you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I mean, Aikman won one, didn't he?
Nope. There's never been a QB in the history of the Dallas Cowboys to ever win an MVP. So Dak Prescott could be the first, and that's even more motivation.
My next guess was Staubach because I was like, outside of those two, like I don't really know who
that was the answer I gave on the Friday show was Staubach. Yeah. So.
But believe it or not, there has not been, and that's kind of surprising. And I honestly think Prescott knows that.
Got a Super Bowl MVP, I'm pretty sure, right? Is that what I'm thinking? Maybe
I'm thinking so. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, can I make the case? Can I make the case for Justin Fields here, quick?
Go ahead, because I mean, it's an argument. It is. You can make the debate. It's just how
it's two QB1s. It's two QB1s for sure.
Yeah. Just the weather's a little sketchy in Cleveland, which I think benefits Justin Fields. You got a banged up DJ Moore on the outside, which doesn't benefit him. But for fantasy purposes. Maybe they just run Fields this game. Like, what if he gets 12 carries for 100 yards?
Defense to run on
2 touchdowns. This is true, but have they played a dynamic athlete like Justin Fields?
That's true.
Lamar Jackson.
That's what I'm thinking. And Allen also kind of made a good point that the splits for Dallas on the road compared to at home isn't ideal, and the weather is supposed to be a little goofy and cold in Buffalo. So I think that's the case for Justin Fields, but I would also have an real hard time sitting Dak. So I think I would still slightly lean Dak, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fields still puts up a decent day.
Yeah. Like if you have a gut feeling on Fields, like trust it. I think it's close enough that like you're not going to, I don't see like a complete bust from either guy coming. I think they're both going to be high teens, low 20s.
Sure.
Yeah. Yep. And then his flex, we got options of Rashee Rice, Zay Flowers, James Conner, and Aaron Jones. Yeah, that one's a tough one.
I go Zay Flowers here.
think I lean there with Jordan as well. I really dislike the matchup for Rashee Rice against the Patriots, man. Patriots defense is pretty good, and they're not going to need to score a ton of points to beat the Patriots, so I'm not sure Rashee Rice is really going to be needed in the game plan today, so that worries me about him, and that's why I lean Zay Flowers there.
I disagree with you in that because I think Rice will be even more involved in the game plan because Bill Belichick takes away your best weapon, which is obviously Travis Kelce. So who is Patrick Mahomes going to trust next? But I still agree with you that I think it's Flowers. The one person I would maybe contemplate between Flowers is, man, it sucks, but I know you guys are going to disagree with James Conner based on volume. I know it's a terrible matchup, but
I'm going to disagree with you.
But
for like the third week in a row, like how are we feeling about Aaron Jones? Like it sounds like he's gonna play. No AJ Dillon. How are we feeling?
I'm not feeling.
Last week, I thought he was gonna play. I was obviously wrong. So it's hard to trust. I mean, that.
It's tough. They did. Yeah, it's tough.
The Packers did elevate Kenyon Drake from the practice squad too, so that's a pretty good indicator that AJ Dillon probably won't play.
Yeah.
Jordan, where would you go just to put
JT's out? Yeah.
Just to put a little context on the Aaron Jones thing, would you play Aaron Jones today, or would you rather play like Antonio Gibson with Brian Robinson being out? Like, where would you go there?
I think I'd lean Jones there, but I couldn't anyone goes the other way on that one.
Yeah, I hear you. And then it would probably be Gibson for me just because I'm not fully trusting Aaron Jones. Mike, where would you go there? And I know we're straight off the tracks a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
But the flex in this case, I do think we agreed on was all Flowers for you, Dame.
Yeah,
and then his defense is Dallas or Baltimore's defense? Baltimore's got the Bags. Dallas has the Bills.
I think it's a stationary Trevor Lawrence, so give me Baltimore's defense. Yeah. That's where I go.
I agree with that one,
Josh Allen likes to turn the ball over, but he can also score. So
we just saw Trevor Lawrence throw 3 picks too, and he can't move around and extend either. So I think that's where I go.
I lean Baltimore slightly. Yeah, just slightly. All right. Then Malcolm, real quick. If Geno doesn't play, does he go Flacco or Drew Lock?
Flacco.
Yeah. I think Flacco is a little bit. He's gonna probably throw a pick. Don't.
But he's also gonna throw it 45 times. So there's
exactly. So it's Flacco on that one. Probably don't watch the game though.
I'm locked in on that game on the main TV today, boys. Let's go.
I'll watch the field, but I don't want to.
Bears in the hunt. Mike LaPlant. They made the graphic. Yeah, let's go.
A lot for it to happen, but it happened. Dame's got Devontae Smith, Jaden Reed as his wide receiver 1 and 2, but he needs a third. He's got Gabe Davis, OBJ coming back, and he's got John Mechie. Just doesn't know if he can trust him. That's all of us.
It's 2016 again, guys. It's Odell Beckham Jr. here for me.
Well, it's not 2016, but
you're right.
It feels like it because the safest play out of those ones is OBJ. He's getting the most targets out of them, but he doesn't have the highest ceiling. It's obviously Gabe Davis. He has the highest ceiling out of these, bunch of dudes. But do you want the high ceiling and the possibility of another 0, or do you want, somebody who can get you 10 targets and probably 5 receptions off those?
Man, that's tough. Because the secondary in Dallas was awesome last week, but AJ Brown still had I think 9 catches for 90 yards. You can move the ball on us. Yeah. So I could see us just looking down Diggs and maybe Davis breaking free for a couple, but
use this with what you will. But Gabe Davis has literally been playing the on-off, week ever since week 8. He's been on 1 week. Bad the next week, on the next week, and last week was his off week. So is he on this week?
I don't play that game. Doesn't sound like a game I want to play.
Yeah, I'll go OBJ. Just the better matchup. Yeah, that's tough. But I guess we're going OBJ. It's time.
The safest play out of that one is OBJ. But if you want to risk it for the biscuit, Dame, Gabe Davis could get you 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys. The Bills need to win that game. Cowboys don't.
Yeah, their season is on the line. Season's on the line for them. Yep.
It's definitely
Cowboys can afford to lose the game.
Kitchen sink for the Bills. Yep.
So why not throw Gabe Davis when you're throwing the kitchen sink? All right, Zeke or ETN?
It's ETN here. ETN
Both have
here,
tough
yeah.
matchups. Just one gets a slightly better uptick in volume, and that's ETN. If you can find a way to sneak Zeke in there, though, try to sneak Zeke in there if you can.
I'm riding with Zeke in like my highest buy in Dynasty League this week, so let's get it.
All right. So what's up, Bob Dole? He's got Tyreek Hill and Jefferson and let him down. At best, I'll be 5th place. It's all right, Bob. There's always next year. Not gonna lie, I thought that was a question. My bad. Chandler asked us, does he start the Chiefs defense, Rams defense, or Titans defense? Chiefs against Patriots, Chiefs. Rams. Who the hell do the Rams play?
Doesn't matter.
They got the Commanders. Yeah, it's the Chiefs.
Okay. Titans defense. Bailey's app showed a little bit. And Bailey's app. I mean, Houston has Case Keenum starting right now. Over pencil neck Davis Mills. So that is a little intriguing there. And Tennessee's at home, where Kansas City is not home. But I still lean Kansas City. It's the better defense. You're kind of hoping for, just a bad game with Tennessee, Houston, which it could be, but give me the better defense. And then Josh Allen or Brock Purdy, 6-point passing touchdowns. That one's Josh Allen for me.
It's closer than it should be, but yeah, I'm starting my studs here. Josh Allen.
Last time against the Cardinals, CMC just absolutely went bananas. So I think it's another one of those weeks. Like, they just don't need Purdy in this game. Where they're going to
I could see it being like a
Cowboys game.
Yeah.
I think it's Josh Allen too, but it's way close.
It is close. Don't get me wrong.
You could see like a Jared Goff type game for fucking Purdy this week, where he just has like 5 touchdowns and just kind of.
Is it in Arizona?
It is in Arizona. Yes.
It's that climate controlled, man. Why do I want to answer with Brock Purdy here?
Because it's close. Because I mean, he's either 1 or 2 in the MVP right now. Like, he's that good right now. It's yeah.
I still lean Allen though.
Yeah,
it's Allen, but yeah, it's close.
All right. And then just real quick, he's curious about next week. He's like, I mean, do we start Purdy versus the Ravens next week?
Depends on your other options, but yeah, I'd probably ride him.
All right. Dame again here. Waller or McBride? PPR league. That one's McBride.
Yeah, McBride.
Yep, keep riding that. That's been a question that I've seen all over the place this week, and I think you just keep riding with McBride here.
I don't think the Niners defense has played McBride. Like, when they played earlier in the year, it was Zach Ertz really who was the main guy. So like, McBride is brand new to them. So I don't think they know how to defend him just yet. And then
I don't think anybody's figured that out.
No, not yet.
I don't think anybody's figured that out yet.
True. And then Jackson's got a question here. Just so you guys know the context, it is full point PPR. Who should he play? Hollywood Brown in his flex, Jerome Ford, Keaton Mitchell, Demario Douglas, Isaiah Likely, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Man, the safest play right there is Jerome Ford. He's going to get the most work.
That's who I'm going with here.
But man, Keaton Mitchell, he is a little firecracker. But I still lean Jerome Ford. He's safe. I'm always one that's going to lean the safer route. But Keaton Mitchell, in my opinion, has the highest ceiling out of these guys.
Really?
The lowest floor. Probably too.
He could take a few to the house. Yeah, that's true.
Just the lowest floor, because if he doesn't take it to the house, he's probably going to have like 8 rushes for about 60 yards, maybe a couple catches. But it's Jerome Ford. Man, that one's kind of a tough one, but you play Jerome Ford in that case.
That's the right answer too. Yeah.
4 minutes ago, Chris Olave is out.
Oh, it did come out.
Yep, just now.
Yep, damn it. All right, Gary, you got your news.
Yep, get Olave out of your lineups.
Get Olave out of the lineups. All right.
Devin White will not play for the Bucks today either.
Oh,
for the IDP guys, yeah.
Got to sub him out to get off here. I have one league with him.
Bummer.
But it's not injury related. That's interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Ian Rappaport said, but it's not injury related. All right, Gary's
Weird,
got
okay.
CEH or Drake London, and this is full point PPR, JJ.
I think it's Drake the Snake London here.
Yeah, it's Drake London here. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to, but yeah. Usually after a big week like that, Drake London's probably gonna get you up. But
yeah, I don't think he's gonna have a huge game. Just give me double-digit fantasy points here. That's what I'm hoping for. It's like, give me 12. 12's fine.
Yeah. They're playing who? Carolina. Yeah, Carolina. Yeah, I could see him getting in the end zone.
Yeah. All right. Andrew, thank you for joining us, man. He's got Keaton Mitchell, Deontay Foreman, Devin Singletary, or Drake London in his flex full point PPR.
I still go London here. London and then Mitchell probably second.
I go London, then Foreman. Foreman is where just because I think that game's going to be a grinded out running kind of game, and Foreman's the lead guy in the backfield. We saw it last week playing 32 snaps. Khalil Herbert only playing 12, which was wild to see. Yeah. Foreman's doing a good job, but I think it's slightly Drake London in the full PPR format.
It is Foreman in London for me. I would actually lean Foreman over London in this case, but you can make the case for London over Foreman as well, considering it's PPR. But I do lean Foreman. He's just going to get more work. And I do agree with you, Dylan. It is going to be a grinded out game in Cleveland for Chicago.
Ooh. So I have a.
Go ahead, JJ.
I would say I have a group chat with Eagles fans right now, and they are melting down about the Jalen Hurts news. They have some inside source that says they both think that it is pretty much guaranteed he's out based off some of the reporters that they follow. So take that for what it is worth. And they have been right on this. Maybe? I don't know. They've been right on this like weird stuff a few times before where they have some reporters they like, and they've been ahead of it. And so for what it is worth, the non-source Eagles group chat thinks Hurts is out on Monday. So.
Go get Marcus Mariota, everybody, if you're a Jalen Hurts owner. Unfortunately, that's kind of a must-do right now in your fantasy playoffs, unless you can find someone else better right now and just play him over Hurts. But if you want to hang on to Hurts last second and hope he plays, then
I don't see
have to get Mariota.
I feel like I'm going down with the ship with the Hurts. I think you got to go get Mariota and just pray that he plays. I mean, as we've seen, he does not need to be on his A game to put up 20 fantasy points. Just get a couple in close, couple tush pushes, boom. There we go. Saves his fantasy day.
Oh, that sucks. In a league I have Hurts, Mariota's already taken.
It's funny. I looked earlier when we first said that too, and then same thing. I was like, God dang it.
Come on. How dare you? Bob, thank you for joining us, man. He's got to choose between Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore today.
I think the answer, and this is probably going to shock you guys, I'm actually going to go Garrett Wilson.
Ooh, okay.
DJ Moore banged up with the ankle. Yeah, better matchup for Garrett Wilson. If Zach can stay out his feet, he's going to target Garrett Wilson double-digit times more than likely. So I think that's where I lean, and I absolutely love DJ Moore. So I'm going to go Wilson here. Go ahead.
I actually lean DJ Moore. No, I take that back. I'm looking at the targets. I lean Garrett Wilson. The targets actually favor Garrett Wilson. It's just, man, I actually like DJ Moore this week. I think he can get behind that secondary of the Browns, but I still lean Wilson just because, I mean, last week 14 targets, previous 7, previous 10, like that's just more than DJ Moore is getting. So it's Garrett Wilson for me.
Yeah, DJ's ankle injury just worries me a little bit. So I definitely starting him if I don't have an option like Garrett Wilson. But I think you need to temper expectations a little bit for him this week. But how about that stat? I don't know, JJ, if you saw this on the feed last week that DJ Moore and Justin Fields have the higher passing rated when Fields is targeting DJ Moore in the NFL. I thought that was kind of wild.
I believe it, man.
With all those screens.
As soon as he came back in, yeah. Well, I mean, as soon as he came back in, it was just back on touchdown. So yeah, I go DJ Moore here. But like you're debating 2 wide receiver ones here. I don't think there's a wrong answer, really.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. With Herbert out, what do you think of Kyler Murray moving forward for the playoffs?
I think it's fine. Yeah, Mike and I are higher on Kyler this week than every ranker on our site. So take that for what it's worth. We both think that 21, he could be.
He's averaged 21.4 fantasy points in his career against the Niners when he does play him. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah,
another good one.
In terms of what do I think, like, pivoting from Herbert to Kyle at this point, that's like best case scenario, honestly, for a fantasy perspective. Like losing Herbert at this time of year, like, yeah, this is best case scenario for you, pretty close to.
Yeah, he gets the Bears in Chicago, which probably isn't an ideal matchup next week because with it being outdoors and stuff. But week 17, if you get to your championship, he gets the Eagles, which is,
I mean, bad weather,
which is the best matchup. Yeah, Kyler could run around and stuff too, so maybe he'll be fine there. So Doug, Kyler moving forward for the playoffs is, I think you can lock him in and feel pretty decent about it.
Yep, he's QB 5 to 10 pretty much the rest of the year, I feel like. Oh, what's up, Matt?
What up, Matt?
It's your this is our boy. Drake Parker, CEH, Gabe Davis.
Devontae Parker, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Drake Parker. Maybe I got Drake Bell on my mind.
We did get a couple Drake London questions. A little weird that you would have Drake Bell on your mind, but that's for a different show. So.
But with your two options being CH and Devontae Parker, I'm playing Gabe Davis. They're not great options.
Oh God,
Gabe Davis, baby.
It's a matter if you want 8 points with CEH or 0 with Gabe Dave if he hits his
you
floor.
Want the
or
mystery
Gabe
box.
Give you 20 plus. Yes, it's definitely the Family Guy episode.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Davis as well,
In
but no,
case,
you're
though,
playing with fire, man.
In that skit though, the mystery box or a boat. This is a mystery box or CEH. Give me the mystery box
or a Hot Wheels. It's a Hot Wheels or a mystery box. It could be Hot Wheels.
Yeah, is CEH like a rowboat instead of a motorized boat or something?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a little canoe.
It's a little swan boat, little paddle boat.
There you go.
Clayton says, "Don't listen to Dylan. He's an Aaron Jones hater."
Clayton, that is not true. I hyped up Aaron Jones all off season and got bit.
Yeah,
for it, so
I think you're both Jones truthers. So yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was going in like the 4th round, which I mean, he's finished.
Hey, we saw week 1 what it was going to be like too until he got hurt. Like he had like 25 points.
It's not like
offense.
He's talented enough to do this. It's just he's been hampered by injuries all year. It happens.
Yep.
What up, Dylan? Thank you for joining us, man. Happy playoffs.
What up? Let's go.
He's got a few questions here. Different leagues. All PPR. He needs us to pick 2. He's got Tony Pollard at Buffalo, Jaden Reed at Tampa Bay, James Cook versus Dallas. He needs 2 out of those first.
Pollard and PPR.
I can't sit James Cook. Yeah, I can't sit James Cook either. Go look at his usage since Joe Brady has taken over, and I love Jaden Reed this week as well in a good matchup against the Buccaneers. But I'm gonna lean James Cook here, the pass catcher.
So I lean James Cook as well. Last 3 games, he's RB5 in PPR formats. Pollard's been picking it up a little bit. And the Bills you can run on the Bills more than you can really pass, which is surprising considering how many injuries they have in the secondary.
Their whole defense is banged up, to be honest with you.
They're injured everywhere.
They just kind of stink now. Yeah.
But I'd be sitting Jaden Reed in that league for you, Dylan. And then his other one here, he needs to pick 1. He's got Waddle versus the Jets, Jaden Reed versus the Buccaneers.
It's Waddle, especially with Hill banged up.
It's Waddle. Last time he played the Jets, he had 8 for like 114, and he was a top 20 wide receiver without a touchdown. Where really he's only been a top 20 wide receiver this year when he scored a touchdown. That was the only game that he has been a top 20 wide receiver without a touchdown. So that's a little bit, it's an uptick for him. So it is Waddle in that situation.
I can't make that play until I know if Tyreek Hill's on the field. I think it helps Jaylen Waddle if Tyreek Hill's off the field because it'll funnel more people over to Tyreek
Hill
Hill's
was on
way
the field when they played the Jets last time. So
yeah, I know. That's why I would like Waddle more if Tyreek Hill's on the field. If Tyreek Hill doesn't play, guys, we've seen what this offense we've seen what this offense looks like. Sorry if I misspoke, but yeah, we saw what this offense looks like without Tyreek. So I definitely don't love it, and I think I would actually lean Reed if Hill doesn't play.
Yeah, Reed,
man,
is Reed safer? Is it safe to say that he's a safer play?
I think he is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. You got like everyone's high on Jordan Love to have this bounce back game. I mean, I'm not buying it. I really am not.
I am.
I
think you're just too close to it, man. I think you're too close to it. I think he's gonna bounce, man. I think he's good.
Well, I just compare it to the first year that Aaron Rodgers took over. Like he had some moments, just like Jordan Love was having some moments, but they at the end of the season ended up missing the playoffs. So like I have that same kind of vibe here where like they've shown some moments, yes, and it's great, but I don't know if they actually do make the playoffs. All they need to do is lose one more and they're almost out. And Tampa Bay is a feisty team. So
they could definitely lose and Jordan Love play good. That's what I kind of hope happens today. For
I don't even know if that necessarily happens, but we'll save that for a different day.
AJ Dillon is not expected to go today against Tampa Bay.
No surprise there. All right, and then he needs to choose his defense here. He's got the Titans versus the Texans, Saints versus the Giants, and Ravens versus the Jags. That one's kind of easy for me, and I actually think it's the Saints. I like the Saints against rookie quarterbacks. It is Tommy DeVito. He did get the NFC Offensive Player of the Week against the Packers last week, but I think the Saints defense is better.
Is that game in New Jersey or in the Superdome?
At least from
the game's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans, in New Orleans. So it's not at the Giants.
Yeah, you can make a case for that then. But I still think it's the Ravens. Actually, I side with Jordan here.
Yeah, Baltimore here.
All right.
Tommy Cullens, man, taking care of the football, Mike LaPlant.
Yeah, man.
Respect on his name.
Yeah, Saints defense like to mess with rookie quarterbacks, though. All right, he's got another one here. And pick one. James Conner versus the Niners, Ford versus the Bears, and Devin Singletary versus the Titans, or CEH.
I thought that said Dingle.
I need to start Dingleberry versus the Titans.
Yeah.
These options stink.
It's James Conner. All the options stink, and they don't have very good matchups either, because your two options that you should be between are Ford and Conner.
Yeah,
all right, but both matchups
too. Yeah,
both matchups suck. I actually lean Conner. I still think there's more volume for Conner than Ford. You got Kareem Hunt still there, taking away some for Ford. Yeah. All right, Gary, get Olave healthy for next week. We need him this week, Gary.
No.
Clayton asks, he got Marquise Brown, Jerick McKinnon, Curtis Samuel for his last flex. Ooh.
Curtis. You also make a
okay.
case for Jet here. I think Marquise Brown's actually third.
Really? I think I'm going Hollywood here. I don't feel good about any of them, but I think we're going Hollywood.
Man, does anybody know if Charvarius Ward is out? If Charvarius Ward is out, I want Marquise Brown. But if Ward is playing, give me Curtis Samuel. That's the thing, because Charvarius Ward was a little banged up, and I don't know if he practiced. I don't know if he's still on the injury report. But yeah, if Ward is out, he's actually been a lot better for that defense than I ever would have expected.
Ooh,
A-Chain
big news
active.
Here. Bigger news though, Tyreek inactive.
Tyreek is inactive. Wow, I was wrong.
Tyreek is inactive. Get him out of your lineups.
What an absolute damn nightmare.
So circling back to that Waddle one, you're definitely going the other way now then, Dylan?
I'm going to go Jaden Reed. Yeah, I don't like Waddle getting all sauced up this game at all.
I still lean Waddle.
Tough timing. I do too, but yeah, that's tough timing. God dang.
Could we just have nice things one time this season?
Yes, no. Seriously.
Not allowed.
Ooh, man.
We couldn't even have nice things back in week 1 because Aaron Rodgers went down right away too. So that just plummeted Garrett Wilson. So it's like this whole year is just a nightmare.
I don't know about Dallas Goedert now. Especially with Jalen Hurts out.
You still start him because there's really not much other tight ends.
It wouldn't be a tight end. It'd be a flex and a tight end premium. My tight end in this league, I got Kittle in there. But I got Tajay, CEH, or Dallas to replace Hill now. So those are
it's tight end premium. I think you go Goddard there. I think that's okay.
I think I have to, but that's tough. Yeah.
Man, so we're pretty much choosing 3 different options here.
Everybody's getting a good sneak peek. Like nobody is immune to this stuff. Like even us right now, we're like, oh man, we're getting hit with last minute stuff in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Even
Christian Watson is officially inactive too with his hamstrings that don't work. HN, I know you said Mike he's active as well. Olave's officially inactive. Noah Brown is active this week.
I'm not getting anything on Travarius Ward either.
Chris Godwin's also active.
I lean Curtis Samuel on that one, Clayton.
Well, there. I think all my lineups are safe again now. Devin White out. Who else did we say was out? I think not everybody.
Okay, let's see. Dion asks, is Aaron Rodgers starting next week? I mean, if the Jets can fucking pull out this win today, it is definitely a possibility. But if they don't win, no chance.
Yeah.
If Wilson comes out and throws for 300 yards and just tears them up, then what? And say they win and Wilson goes for 350 and 3 touchdowns. What happens?
They'll still be starting Rodgers.
It's still Daddy's job.
Yeah.
All right.
God damn it, Sweeps. Good luck to you too as well. I'll probably be in the nutsack
game.
All right. What's up, Gabriel? Thank you for joining us, man. Needs an RB2 and a flex half PPR. He says pick the safest floor and then highest upside for him. All right. So got Ford, Chuba Hubbard, Connor, Calvin Ridley, and McBride. He also has Kittle. So you guys don't agree with me, but I think the safest one is Connor. He's got the most guaranteed volume. All right.
Yeah,
can't be
it's
safe
a really tough matchup, though. Yeah, like you can get 15 carries and go for 40 yards pretty easily. Yeah.
And not get in the end zone and totally melts down your thing.
I think the safest floor here is McBride. The way that he's been targeted since he's taken in, like he's been.
That wasn't even my second. That's actually my highest ceiling is McBride.
I think he's both.
I could make an argument here for Hubbard being the safest guy here because in the past 3 weeks, Hubbard is the number 2 touch leader behind only Kyren Williams. Against the Falcons defense, who've only allowed 5 rushing touchdowns all year and their 3rd toughest matchup for RBs.
Yeah, but Hubbard's looked good these last couple of weeks. So but then again, it was like almost 50-50 with him and Sanders. So yeah.
For me, I think your safest floor is between Hubbard and Connor. All right. I think the highest upside is McBride in this one. Dylan?
I think I'm going to go safest floor McBride, highest ceiling is Ridley.
Dylan doesn't even know what to say.
No, this question sucks. Nothing against Gabriel or anything. This is just hard. I don't know where to go here. And you can make a case for the safest floor for Ford, Hubbard, Connor, and McBride because Ford's still getting work. The Bears still allow receptions to pass catching running backs, so that can definitely happen. And Ford has been Ford can catch the ball out of the backfield too. But Kareem Hunt is there. I get it. Hubbard getting a ton of work, but that offense absolutely stinks. And there's also a realm of possibility he goes for 18 for 60 and doesn't get in the end zone. So I don't love that either. So it's like, I'm almost with JJ that McBride has the highest floor and ceiling here. So, and I think the other where I'd probably go Jerome Ford, to be honest with you, and go Ford and McBride.
Well, can I ask you just real quick, what for you guys constitutes a floor? What do you look at when you look at a floor?
Go ahead, Jordan.
So I'm not necessarily looking at just touches. I think the matchup lots because I think being able to get a guaranteed 5 targets is sometimes better than getting 15 carries in terms of we're constantly going against the Niners. You know what I mean? I think I'd rather take 5 targets from McBride over the middle than 15 carries from Connor against that defense. So I mean it's case by case. I don't think I just one necessary thing I'm looking at. But matchup plays a big part in it. I think from what I've kind of picked up this year, I think I put more emphasis on matchup into kind of my floor and ceilings than I think you do, Mike. I think you kind of just that guaranteed workload where I'm a little bit more skeptical against better defenses for sure. Which it's bit me sometimes for sure.
There's no right answer. There's no right answer.
Mm-hmm.
I've been bitten before by the matchups, and this is why I lean the volume. Because, I mean, you look at it, and you look at, for example, last week, everybody was off Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp because they were playing the Ravens. Really, really tough matchup.
I would.
What ended up?
Dick.
Well, you know what I meant though. The majority of people. And look what goes and happens. I mean, both of them have a good game. So, like, the matchup doesn't always dictate it. I mean, yes, it does play into it, but there are times where the matchup necessarily doesn't benefit you. Like, I mean, we've had games where it's like, oh my God, this should be a fantasy football points extravaganza, and it ends up being 20-17 or 17-14. So, like, those matchups aren't always
on Thursday.
Yeah,
like I mean, opposite. So, like, y'all thought it was going to suck on Thursday, and then it was a huge fantasy game.
I look at the matchups, and they're just as unpredictable as trying to score a touchdown. But you look at the volume, and that's predictable. So that's kind of the reason why I go with that. Gabriel also wants to know Browns defense or New Orleans defense. I think it's New Orleans.
I think you convinced me on New Orleans on this one. Yeah,
I just think there's more turnover possibility.
I think the Browns are the better defense, but
yes.
I think it's kind of a mix of both. Like, I think, Dylan, you've convinced me Field have a pretty big day, and I think the Saints are going to do pretty good at home against the Giants. So you two have blended together, and I'm going to go Saints here.
Aaron Jones is active. I don't know if you said that or not.
He is active? Okay.
Yes, he is active.
Think New Orleans is the play here. I think that's fine, but Justin Fields does like to fumble here, so I could see Cleveland having a decent game. But he has been better protecting the ball, but you can go New Orleans. But I kind of want to reverse jinx it and go
appreciate you, Jamie. If you do happen to have any other questions, dude, hit us up. We'll help you out. All right. This one's a good one. Matt wants to know, Raheem Mostert or James Cook, full point PPR?
Still riding Mostert, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I go Mostert here. This is one of the guys that's over Cook right now, yeah.
If you're going to try to run the heck out of the ball, the Jets are pretty good against the run, but that's pretty much where they're susceptible. So I think I think it's
especially no Tyreek.
Yeah.
No Tyreek. Somebody's got to move the ball for him.
And I love me some James Cook.
This is the one where I'm going to go against the volume because the volume says James Cook. But give me Raheem Mostert, especially without Tyreek Hill. They're going to need to find the end zone, and Raheem Mostert's had the most luck finding the end zone for the Dolphins.
I could see him having a little bit of a tick in the passing game with Tyreek out too.
Or just in general, the Dolphins really focus on the run game because maybe Hill is not out. But then that really ruins my waddle. All right, so Dion wants to know Mike Evans or Tyler Lockett. Godwin is active.
Man,
Mike
and
Evans.
that Philly secondary is shredded, and they lost Darius Slay for a few weeks now too. So that's tough. I'm going to go Evans here, but I think Philly secondary is getting close to must start everybody against them the way it's trending.
LaPlant, is Jair playing, or are you not sure?
He is out. He is out.
I was gonna say I haven't gotten that update yet.
I'm leaning on Mike Evans all year. I'm gonna keep.
I'm almost positive I saw Jair was out. I'm almost positive.
Hey, he reminds me of Casey Hayward the way he's playing, the way he kind of is right now. We paid him, and all of a sudden now we can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
Jordan,
he is out the 6th consecutive game.
Jordan, I don't know if you heard, but if you're interested, Alan said on the betting segment that Tyler Lockett's plus 235 for anytime touchdown. So if you like Lockett a lot, that's some really good odds.
I'm still starting Evans here, but it is like Philly. They don't have much left back there to try and stop passes. It's getting thin.
It is. I mean, Darius Leonard did not help out as much as we thought it would.
Yeah.
Alec, we appreciate you being here, man. He's got a question here. Full point PPR. Chris Godwin, Romeo Doubs, or Jackson Smith-Njigba?
Stops.
It's between Doubs and Smith-Njigba for me. I'm actually starting Smith-Njigba in a league over Godwin this week.
Don't blame me there.
And it's against you, Dylan, in American Razz. So I hope that works out for me.
I hope it does. Go Godwin.
But I lean Dobbs in this situation with Christian Watson out. He's going to be the de facto number 1 or 1A to 1B for Jaden Reed. So give me Romeo Doubs in this one.
Yeah, I'll go Dobbs.
It's honestly for me, it's just it's pecking order. Chris Godwin's number 2, Smith and Jigba's number 3, Romeo Dobbs is going to be number 1 this week. I mean, outside of Aaron Jones. All right, Jay, he's got Cleveland's defense or Atlanta's defense, and this one's a good one because Atlanta gets Bryce Young, and Bryce Young has just been struggling. Yeah. He's pretty much been the best person to play a defense against when it comes to, streaming a defense. So I do lean Atlanta in this one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys.
All right. Impossible's back with another impossible question. I'm just kidding. He needs 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex. Oh, and
Stafford. Stafford. Yep.
That one's easy. Yep. That's Stafford.
QB is 100% Stafford.
And it's 100% Bijan too, right? Like that one we can.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 100%. Okay. So we got our QB, we got our running back, our wide receivers, Bijan. Our Cooper, Lockett, London, Shaheed, OBJ, Demario Douglas, Curtis Samuel. I'm guessing that's Zay Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And he can only pick 1. God damn.
I'm going Amari.
I'm going Lockett.
I would go Lockett over Amari as well, and then I'm taking.
Let's do the tight end here first, and then we'll go to the flex. Tight end between McBride and
Blakely. For me.
McBride, and then sure. our flex options are Aaron Jones, Antonio Gibson, CEH, Jerick McKinnon, Tajay Spears, Deontay Foreman, Amari Cooper, Drake London, Rashid Shaheed, OBJ, Demario Douglas, Curtis Samuel, Zay Jones. I go Aaron Jones in the flex.
I'm torn between Lockett and London for my flex.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lockett and London for my wide receiver and flex there. I don't like the matchup for Amari Cooper and Jalen Johnson very much. So if he gets him most of the game,
I feel like he's gonna get peppered with targets though. I'll go Cooper and
that's how I feel about Aaron Jones. He's gonna get peppered with targets because of you can't run against the Buccaneers. You can throw against them. All right. Hopefully we helped out with that one. Impossible. That was a good question. Deanna asked, is HN active? He is active.
Yep.
He is active. So get him in your lineups if you can. All right. Ooh. Jamie wants to know, with Godwin banged up and playing below expectations, would you go Godwin or CEH?
I think you actually go CEH here.
Oh, really? I think I go the other way. I think I go Godwin here, assuming a PPR.
No, that one's a tough one. 11.7. Still Godwin. Still go Godwin.
Yeah.
All right. Joe, we did go over this, but we'll go over it again. Not sure.
Just in case. Yep.
Olave is out. Tyreek Hill is out today, and Jalen Hurts was downgraded for Monday Night Football. So just pay attention to that, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks
for tuning in, Joe.
Alec wants to know, is he going to Tua this week without Hill, or should he go Joe Flacco?
No,
it's still Tua. Yeah,
I suppose.
Don't get cute here.
I'm scared,
but
it's
Tua or Jared Goff, but yeah, it's Tua.
What did Tua do against the?
Last time he played.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it was good.
If
I remember.
No, it was not.
Rough.
QB 26.
I benched Tua for Goff in 2 leagues this week, and that was looking like the right call. And it was rough against the Jets last time. He had like 8 fantasy points or something like that. 5 fantasy points.
If you had like Brock Purdy to choose between Tua and Purdy, I would 100%.
I think that's Purdy pretty easily. Yeah.
Yeah, but with Flacco here, I still actually lean Tua. Without Hill, I do. Even though he did have a bad week against the Jets last time, it can easily go worse with Joe Flacco. Easily.
Nico Collins officially inactive today.
Yeah.
All right. Joe said, big Raz Bowl decision here. Full point PPR. Is he going Chuba Hubbard or Aaron Jones?
Suck.
I feel like our job's on the line with this one.
Yeah.
Suck. All right, so it's PPR, so taking the targets to account, Chuba's got more rushing attempts, more rushing volume, but I think the targets favor Aaron Jones because Chuba's only got 7 targets the past 3 games.
Yes, it's Aaron Jones. I don't love it, but
only because it's PPR. If it was half PPR, I'd probably lead Chuba.
Yeah,
don't fire us if we get it wrong,
but this is a tough one here. But I'm going to go Aaron Jones.
You saw what it was like when Aaron Jones was healthy and involved in this offense. He is the number 1 guy. All right, so I do expect him to get involved in the passing game. I mean, it's
no Watson
it's just,
there, no Dylan.
Yeah, it's Aaron Jones on that one. Man, Chuba gets more of the volume. I think he does. But this is one of those cases where the volume could definitely equal out to like you said, 18 for 60 yards. And maybe 2 catches. Yeah, give me Aaron Jones. Oh, what's up, Sports? Spotlight, thank you for joining us, man. Hope you stick around. You need to start 2 at wide receiver, 1 at
my headphones died, sorry.
Oh, no. Can you still hear us? Oh, no. All right, so, well.
Oh. He can read lifts, we're fine.
He can read lifts. He needs 2 wide receivers, though. 1 flex. He's got Zay Flowers, Marquise Brown, Zay Jones, and Noah Brown. Automatic Zay Flowers. I'm sure you can agree with that, Dylan.
Yeah.
Aaron
Jones and...
Yeah, Aaron Jones is your flex for sure. Zay Flowers. Now your mic's not working, JJ, just so you know.
I think you go.
Sorry, guys, about that. My headphones just died on me.
You're good, man. I hear you now. I think it's Trey McBride and Aaron Jones and Zay Flowers. I can't pick that. Never mind. 2 wide receiver, 1 flex.
2 wide receivers, one flex.
Come on.
So you're basically choosing between Trey McBride and Aaron Jones for your flex.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that.
It's Aaron Jones for me.
No, I think it's Trey McBride and the flex, and I think it's Zay Flowers and Zay Jones.
All right, man. It's Zay Flowers, Marquise Brown, and Aaron Jones for me.
Yep, I agree with you, Mike.
Okay, Dylan, I could not find the backup questions. You got them here somewhere?
Yeah. I'll just rattle them off here. Let's go rapid fire. Jaylen Waddle, Mike Evans.
That one's Mike Evans.
Yep, Evans for me as well. Jordan, you?
Yeah.
For you as well?
Yeah.
Zeke or Mostert? Mostert for me.
Mostert.
Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be a good volume day for Zeke, but I still think Mostert scores more. We do have one live one here. We got a live one. Bryce, appreciate it, man. If you got any more, definitely hit us up. All right, with that atmospheric conditions with Dak or Mahomes, all right, should he flex? Should he flex Aaron Jones or Amari Cooper this week? PPR.
Ooh, man, I'm surprised I'm hesitating on this, but
it's Aaron Jones.
I think
I was hesitant last week to say Aaron Jones because we weren't sure he was playing. We know Aaron Jones is playing, so I'm going with Aaron Jones.
I think it's Aaron Jones too, I guess.
I think Amari in this case is quite a bit safer. Like I feel pretty confident about his like 8.4.
Jalen Johnson. Dylan will make that argument for you.
Amari's good, man. Like he's like one of the most slept on, underappreciated. He's good. Like
so is Jalen Johnson at cornerback.
I'm gonna go. I think I go Amari here. I want to see if I have an option as good as Amari. I think I want to see it a week from Jones first. So I'm gonna go Amari here. And then we're all going Mahomes at quarterback, or did you guys go Dak?
You probably go Mahomes. Yeah, you probably go Mahomes.
Yeah.
I actually would not. I would go Dak.
The weather's weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Mahomes can't. Mahomes and that offense can't score over 20 points.
The weather's weird, and it's Mahomes, man. I don't love it either, Mike, but I think that's the smartest play to make, unfortunately.
See, this is where it's like, all right, start your studs. And who's been more of a stud this year? Dak Prescott.
But that
No,
can't be
crazy.
the only reason though. And Patrick Mahomes is Patrick damn ass Mahomes.
I get that. I get that. But who has been the stud this year?
I
got
Prescott.
us another live question here when you guys want one.
But
I lean Dak in that one. And you know what? You can DM me afterwards if it doesn't work, but I still lean Dak. He's the hotter hand. He's the more of a stud so far. It's like I understand it's hard to sit Mahomes, but Mahomes has been brutal.
Yeah.
All right. Dion. After this one, we got yours, JJ. What quarterback? Kyler Murray, Sam Howell, Baker Mayfield, Danny DeVito with Hurts questionable. That one's kind of
calling him Danny DeVito, man. God damn it.
I'm terrible with names. Much better with faces.
I'm smacking you in your
man.
bald head next time I see you, man. I think it's Murray.
Hopefully you get blinded by the reflection.
Just like that, right on the top of that thing.
You gonna rub it for good luck too?
No.
All right, what's your live question here, JJ?
All right, so a buddy just texted me. Woke up this morning, lost Olave and Tyreek. Need to put one more guy in his replacement. JSN, Dobbs, or Lockett?
Dobbs for me. No. Sorry. It's Lockett.
Lockett.
I didn't hear Lockett. It's Lockett.
I think I agree, but yeah, okay.
I think it's between Dobbs and Lockett. It's between Dobbs and Lockett.
For Lockett from this on the show. Cool.
All right, Dylan, what's the next one? We got about 5 minutes here. Let's do some rapid fire.
Hubbard, DeAndre Swift, half-point PPR.
Swift.
I think it's Swift too. Don't love it, but that's where I lean. Could be a bounce-back game for him.
Especially if Hurts is out, man. They're going to need someone to move the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I like it with Hurts out actually more than with Hurts in. Man. But you don't know if Hurts is going to play. That's the crappy thing.
You know the definition of rapid fire or no?
Yes, DeAndre Swift.
Next one. Olave's out. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, or Jaden Reed?
Swift.
That's a reader for me.
Swift and
Ridley, Swifty, and Reed.
Oh, Jaden Reed here.
Oh, yeah. Dalton Schultz, Trey McBride.
Trey McBride.
Trey. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, easy.
Sorry, cousin.
There.
Trey all day.
Jet McKinnon or Terry McLaurin?
we're at this point in the season, huh?
Oh, yeah, it is this point. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, give me McLaurin. I like it. I like his matchup.
I think I'm going McLaurin too, but that's dirty, man. That's tough.
Yeah, it is. It feels nasty. I go Terry as well there. Calvin Ridley, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I think Ridley still.
I think it's Ridley too. Yep.
Yeah.
That one's dirtier, but it is Ridley.
Yeah, we're hitting the bottom of the barrel. So,
would you rather play the banged up Browns defense, or would you rather play the Bears or Ravens versus Jags? I think we might have answered this earlier, but I would go
yeah,
Ravens.
That one I'd go Ravens. Yep. We got a live one here from Jamie. Logan Thomas or Jahan Dotson in a non-tight end premium?
Shoot for the stars. Give me Jahan Dotson here.
I agree with you.
Yeah, he's definitely not the safer play, but I'd rather play Dotson over Logan Thomas, especially if it's non-tight end premium. If it was tight end premium, give me Logan Thomas. But
would you play Zay Flowers in a flex over Dallas Goedert, or would you go Goddard? I gotta go.
Oh yeah, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers for sure. Yeah,
still Zay Flowers. Yep. All right, like 1-2 more.
Justin Fields in the rain or Kyler Murray against the Niners?
Kyler Murray.
I think I still go Justin Fields there pretty easily there.
I talked myself into Justin Fields earlier when I was making the spiel, so that's where I'm going to go just with his rushing ability, crappy weather. I think that helps him for fantasy.
You act like Murray doesn't have a rushing ability.
Not like Justin Fields, man. Nobody has a rushing ability like Justin Fields outside of Lamar Jackson.
All right, do one more question, and we got a live one, and then we'll.
All right, that's a good one.
Devonta
Smith or DeAndre Hopkins?
Ooh. With the Hurts news, I lean Hopkins on that one.
I think I still go to. Oh man, I wish that it wasn't the Monday night game.
Yeah, I think you have to go Hopkins here with no Hurts, to be honest with you.
Just play it safe.
If Hurts doesn't play, sorry, I should preface that with if he doesn't play.
Yeah, but what if you just get the news tomorrow that's like, oh, Hurts is fine? I'm gonna be like, oh man.
At that point, hopefully.
That's a tough one. This is the toughest question I think we've had today for me.
I still go Hopkins. Number 1 target on that team.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Hopkins. That's tough.
All right. Last one here, and then we'll say our goodbyes. Let the DFS daddies come in here. Alex, thank you for being our last question. Hopefully you join us next week as well. And you stick around for the DFS talk, but he needs to start one.
Hope your leg is recovered well too, Alex.
ETN Swift, Jalen Waddle, and Kenneth Walker.
It is Travis Etienne for me. Yep.
It is Etienne there. That one's a tough one, but it's Etienne, Alex. All right, guys. Appreciate you. See, I'm with you, Chris. He's in the background. Dudes, Kyler Murray was Justin Fields before Justin Fields. See, you're discrediting him. And I agree with Chris on that one. But that's hearsay. All right. Dylan, tell everybody where they can find you at.
Yeah, guys, I do the waiver wire article every week. Only a couple more weeks left. You catch that on fantasy6pack.net along with the video on the YouTube channel. And then, Mike, we have 2 more weeks of the game preview show on Friday nights as well. So make sure to check that out.
All right. How about you, JJ? Where can everybody find you at?
Yeah, so I'll have a weekly written recap coming out tomorrow morning, like always. That should be available pretty much as soon as you guys wake up on the East Coast. And then tomorrow I have Clemons joining me. We're going to be talking a little Dynasty. We're still a little undecided on exactly how we want to do the show, but Keith and I will be talking Dynasty tomorrow. I think we're going to go a little bit at 4 p.m. Eastern. So tune back in here to the YouTube channel and catch us here, and we'll have a good show for you. Absolutely,
guys. Hit that bell up top if you want to be notified when they go live. But as always, guys, thank you for joining me and everybody else for these start sit questions. We really appreciate it. And, everybody, good luck in the playoffs. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Bye. All right, guys, now it's time for the money portion. Let's bring on the DFS daddies here. We got Dave, Eddy, and Chris, Robbin. What's up, guys? Take it away.
Hello and good morning. My name is Chris, aka at Detroit Beastie. My friend next to me is Dave at Corporal Eddy. Felt like it needed a more robotic, systematic kind of introduction, and I love the idea. Do you remember in the spring and the summer we said doing some crossover work would be fun, right? As the shows kind of roll over, and that hasn't happened much. But I know you were here in the background, and guys were talking about Kyler Murray or Justin Fields. Kyler Murray had like a dozen rushing touchdowns in like 5 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks one year, and then he tore up his knee. And it's just something fun, right? We all have our opinions, we all have our bullshit. So, Dave, how are you this morning, and what are the inactives looking like today?
We got a hectic one this morning, and so you and I are going to need to speed things along here because I'm going to have to rebuild some stuff. So let's get into that real quick. I'll just hit on, the actionable ones. Usually I kind of hit on all the, small ones too, but Aaron Jones is active. AJ Dillon is out. So should be, a good workload for Aaron Jones there. Christian Watson's out. We knew that. So love Jaden Reed. CJ Stroud is out to go along with, Nico Collins. We knew Tank Dell was out. Noah Brown is going to be in. Devin Achane is active. Tyreek Hill is inactive. So there's a big one. That's a big one. I think for MME purposes, the guy like Cedric Wilson becomes interesting now. On the same note, Chris Olave is out as well. So I think Rashid Shaheed becomes very interesting. We knew Ramondre was out, so Zeke season. Trying to see if there's anything else in here. I think Marquise Brown and Michael Wilson, I think they both play. They're in the late window. They're questionable, but expected to play. Tutu Atwell is, I think, going to miss. He's, again, questionable. I think that DeMarcus Robinson becomes a very interesting cheap play. And, Brian Robinson was ruled out, so Antonio Gibson gets a start there. We talked about that on Friday. But, lots of big news there. The Hill and the Olave really do, I think, change some stuff. So Yeah, man, let's get into it so we can
Yeah,
get out of here.
With Hill being out, that does stink. But in a way, it's week 15. It opens the window. It opens the door for to sprinkle in a little bit more of some cheap plays, right? And in an odd way, we had Thursday night football. We had some Saturday football. Yesterday's night game was outstanding. I'm in a fantastic mood. It's like the idea of we get to watch football today, kind of stress free, at least in my household, in my home. But then now with the inactives and all this coming out. So when we look at the quarterback position, I'm not going to defer or get any strange than I was. I still love the idea of Stafford. I'll let you kind of speak about Stafford a little bit more than that, because I'm still on Desmond Ridder. Atlanta's playing Carolina. Bailey Zappi, the New England Patriots, are playing Kansas City. However, I do like Zach Wilson a little bit more. The Jets are playing in Miami, and now Miami is without Tyreek Hill. You said the rookie Devin Achane, he is kind of iffy there. So I'm not saying that the Jets are going to beat Miami, but I'm saying that the Jets will be able to have some breathing room. Let's say it's not going to be, they're not going to be forced into a corner and like fighting out of a paper bag kind of scenario. So Zach Wilson and even Tommy DeVito, in a certain way, the Giants are in New Orleans. So to me, it's all in the eye of the beholder. Will Levis is also a guy I got my eyes on. I've never seen a quarterback that plays as angry as Will Levis. Throws an interception, then he punches the guy and gets the ball back, his own interception back. But to me, in order of importance, Matthew Stafford, Ridder, let's go Zach Wilson and then Zappi, and then a little bit of Will Levis at the end there, Dave. Where are you going at quarterback today? You changing much, or you want to get right into about Stafford here?
No, I mean, it's the same as it was. I think Stafford is my, I don't know about no-brainer, but he's my clear cash play. The only thing that there isn't to like about him this week is, he's not going to do anything with his legs, but the matchup is phenomenal. I really got into it, on Friday. But basically, this is the best matchup for a quarterback for every reason that you can think of. So love him. And then on the flip side of things, Sam Howell, I'm expecting that the Rams are going to score a lot of points. So that's going to force the Commanders to kind of have to do the same thing. And that's kind of what we've seen all year. And that's why Howell has been such a good DFS play for us. Obviously, his, price has creeped up a little bit, but, he's got at least 3X in all but 2 games this year and in 6 straight. So I think that those 2 guys are the obvious places to go, Chris.
Well, that is beautiful. And let's move it along, and we will talk about running backs here. When Christian McCaffrey obviously is the de facto, probably has a chance to be, and not even without even a question, has a chance to be the number 1 overall scoring player on the entire slate today. Josh Allen be damned, Kyler Murray be damned, all of that stuff. That doesn't really faze me. But as I said, CMC is in San Francisco. Frisco's 31st overall against opposing running backs. I'm sticking with the same little class of guys that I mentioned. I'll just dig a little bit deeper into where I'm looking here. And it starts with, Devin Singletary, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mentioned Jordan Mason on Thursday just because of, the final score that I have. I have San Francisco putting up 35 to 38 points in winning by probably 25 to 27 points here. I think we see Jordan Mason gets a whole quarter to himself in the fourth quarter against Arizona, who's already going to be gassed, or maybe they've already switched, to their second string or third string. So I like Jordan Mason at 4-2 on FanDuel, 4-6 on DK to find the end zone here. I'm not saying he's going to get 80, 70 or 80 yards, but at that price, you give me 20 yards and it equals 2 points and a touchdown. Boom, we are off and running here. Because again, when we look at the slate overall, you have to look for those cheapy guys, right? The Masons, and then at the quarterback with Zach Wilson, and then you can just jam pack the middle of this thing with the CMCs. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm absolutely amped up after what happened last night, and I had a cup of coffee. So let me chill a minute. Jerick McKinnon is in my waves as well. Is there already been any news about Isaiah Pacheco? I haven't double checked. I wait for you to look at that, Dave. But if Isaiah Pacheco is going to be inactive, which that would make sense. So there we get Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Jerick McKinnon. I've never really trusted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, even as a rookie, even as people went nuts for him. So to me, it's all about Jerick McKinnon, 5.5 on FanDuel, 5.1 on DK. Rico Dowdle is also in my orbit here today, playing against Buffalo. When we look at this game, Dallas and Buffalo, I'm trying to quickly find my final score here, and I can't find it, so I'll just toss it to the side. Rico Dowdle is going to get his series back and forth as Tony Pollard can get a little bit of a gas. You mentioned Antonio Gibson. I crossed out Damon Pierce in Houston because, playing Tennessee, because I would have preferred Devin Singletary and Tyler Algier in Atlanta. I talked about it Thursday, and I'm really, nothing has changed my mind. I'm getting away from an Atlanta Falcons stack. Where are you going with your running back? And I know I don't want anybody to think Dave isn't paying attention. I know you're probably you're trying to update your lineups and everything because all the inactives and the pool is changing and everything like that. So hit me with some running backs, and then maybe we can answer some questions as they're coming in on the side here, Dave.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of both here. I'm listening, but I'm also maneuvering here because doing the show at the last minute. We're in the same boat as everybody else trying to get these lineups in. So I'm trying to get some things done.
That's why you're a professional. You can do everything. Yeah. And I wouldn't be shocked if you're making an omelet here. You're making an omelet on the side. You're like, let's go.
But I'm paying attention to the chat as well. Haven't missed any DFS questions. So we're good to go. But running back for me, nothing has changed. CMC and Kyron Williams were locked in for me on Tuesday, probably. Talked about him on Friday as well. Nothing has changed there. The phrase, death taxes, playing CMC in cash when he's healthy. It's a great matchup. He absolutely crushed Arizona earlier in the season. I just don't overthink it. Lock him in. Kyron Williams, kind of a similar situation since he's been back from the injury, averaging 23 touches a game. Washington, 31st schedule adjusted fantasy points to running back. So another guy to lock in. And then the last spot, it's kind of between either Zeke or Bijan. Kind of depends on where you want to go with other stuff. And this Chris Olave injury kind of mixes things up. The Tyreek Hill injury kind of mixes things up a little bit as well. I originally was on Zeke. I'm debating possibly on I might have some extra salary. Do I want to play Bijan instead? So either way you want to go there, and makes sense. Volume is going to be there for both of them. Crazy enough, I think it may be safer volume for Zeke, but obviously Bijan is the superior player. So I guess kind of pick and choose what you want to do a little bit there. Bijan's got the better matchup as well, but it's crazy to argue that, Zeke might actually have the higher floor. And then if you want to play Antonio Gibson, at this point, for cash purposes, he's out for me. It's going to be Kyron, CMC, and then Zeke or Bijan. But I don't think Antonio Gibson is a terrible play. I just can't see it myself. Not today. Not with what we've had happen here recently.
Yeah, I'm with you. And again, given the fact that it is it's December 17th, it's Sunday, it's about 12 minutes after 12 noon. So we're looking at 48 minutes or so before everything locks on this week 15 schedule. We've had a Thursday night game. We had 3 games on Saturday. So therefore today, week 15, it's a little bit smaller of a main slate. I would imagine, let me double check. It's 10 games on the main slate. So you get 20 teams. There's a lot, thrown into the mix here. So when we look at the wide receiver portion of things, I just cannot get away from, you mentioned it first. You talked about wide receivers on Thursday, any optimizer worth its weight in salt or gold. I don't even know what the saying is. Is it worth its weight in salt or is it worth its weight in gold? Gold is,
I would say worth its weight in gold is a little bit,
but way back when, in the Egyptian days,
salt was the currency. Yeah, salt was currency. So
They used to trade salt and spices and turmeric and all that stuff. So any
Turmeric,
optimizer worth its weight in turmeric will look at
That's the phrase. That's the phrase.
We'll look at the wide receivers and say, you know what, Rashee Rice is just like a blinking, one of those lights in Vegas that just says play me, or Alice in Wonderland, the little tag that says drink me, eat me, whatever it is. Because when you look at the New England Patriots, they're in Foxborough, and it doesn't matter if it's cold or snowing, Kansas City isn't a summer beach resort anyways. But when you look at Rashee Rice, 6'5" on FanDuel, 6'1" on DK, he has kind of come out and into the open as Patrick Mahomes de facto wide receiver one, right? You look at Travis Kelce is the tight end wide receiver one, but there hasn't been that other guy to step up. And Tony's just, don't get me started, no ill will towards him, but it's like, why? It's one of those things where Tony's caused me no harm. I just dislike him. And I hate that I feel that way because I don't live my regular everyday life like that. I never met the guy, but I have such a disdain for him. When you look at Rashee Rice, we'll keep it moving. I love the Green Bay Packers combo. Romeo, wherefore out there, Romeo. You look at Jaden Reed as well. They're using Jaden Reed in ways that we could have only dreamed of, going into the season. And he's just a rookie, and the potential is very, very, it's untapped, right? And as it gets to move, but Jaden Reed, he is questionable. There was some sort of chest injury, but he is going to be active and play today. Johan Dotson, I heard the last set of guys talking about Dotson, playing for the Washington Commanders against the Rams. If I remember correctly, I have my week 15 totals here. I'm going to have to share this as quick as I can, but Dave mentioned on Thursday the idea of a Washington Commanders at Rams, like a full game stack, any way you want to do it. You'd start with Howell, and then you could stack up, a couple Commanders wide receivers, and then the run back would be Kyron Williams and Demarcus Robinson, let's say, and then, or you put Stafford at quarterback, and then you run it back with a couple Washington Commanders. So Dotson is very much in play, but as we reach like kind of the end of the wide receiver talk here, Xavier Hutchinson in Houston is very much in play for me. The Houston's playing in Tennessee. He's only 4.9 on FanDuel, $3,000 on DK. I did say Demarcus Robinson on Thursday. He looks to be going to be highly involved somewhere around those lines. And what about Jonathan Mingo, Carolina and Atlanta? If I'm going to stack up the Atlanta Falcons, what's the bring back going to be? It always doesn't have to be a bring back. You can stack a team clean and boom, bing, bang, boom, move on. But Mingo, the rookie, is not exerting himself, but establishing himself as a player in this Carolina offense here. And last but not least, Wan'Dale Robinson, just as a kind of a lotto ticket, right? I did mention Tommy DeVito. I like him. He's got his bookie. He's a made man. Who knows? I made that same joke. It's like, this is like a comedy routine, basically, Dave. It's like we go on stage and we do a set. We do our set on Thursday. We work out the kinks. You say it's like a final, like it's a project in school. I look at it as like we're stand-up comedians. We're working out our set, make sure we pause when the jokes hit, and if it doesn't, we expand. But to me, Wan'Dale Robinson stacking with Tommy DeVito in New Orleans, and we will see what we get. What are you thinking about wide receiver? And to be fair, Dave, I'm going to ask you something different. If you want to skim over wide receivers, that's beautiful, but I want to know what you're working on. I think that might be more interesting than us just reiterating what we said Thursday. What are you working on, and what pieces are you moving around personally?
Rebuilding my cash lineup. Needed to take a look at a couple of things. Rashid Shaheed has worked his way in. I was playing Demarcus Robinson. I'm now playing Rashid Shaheed. And as such, I had to make an adjustment with the defense as well, because who gives a shit about defense? And then I've got to rebuild all of these MME lineups. I've got a new process I'm trying out. I did it on Saturday. Didn't go so well, but that's such a small, it's a 1 week sample size on a 3-game slate. So it's a big old whatever. But to go back, if this show wasn't so much, I don't want to call it serious, but if this wasn't a DFS show, and if you and I weren't trying to, sneak it in a certain time frame, there would be so much more comedy on here, because I guess I can't speak for myself, but been told many times that I'm a pretty funny guy, and I know that you're a pretty funny guy, but we don't, we don't allow that to come out usually because
I hate that it's like a military.
We're doing that.
It's like military. I think we can have that give and take, right? As long as we, get to our point. I've always been long-winded, especially when I'm broadcasting, because when you come up and you're on the radio or you're doing a broadcast, like any dead air is like, it's the worst. That's the first thing they teach you. Dead air. You cannot have dead air. You don't want to hit, two people staring at each other. So I would rather talk a little bit more, and say a little bit more than just go, you know what? I like Michael Wilson today, and I'm moving on. It's not interesting, and people will split. You can find that kind of crap anywhere. So I just, put a little bit of myself into this, into it, and I just like to talk. And dead air is bad news, especially when you're broadcasting.
Maybe next week, what we'll do is we'll just go no rules. We'll see if it goes 2 hours. It goes 2 hours.
What if we swap shows? We do the start sit. We have their hour, and then they can do the start sit stuff from noon to 1 o'clock or something like that. Maybe, just like an opposites day. I don't have any kids, but I know a lot of my friends have a lot of my friends have kids, and it's like 100 day, right? Where you have 100 days at school, and all the little kids dress up like they're old, and they got beards and walkers, or crisscross back, you're wearing your jeans backwards, crap like that. So what are you doing with wide receivers though?
On Friday, we can do whatever the hell we want, though. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Jamie agrees. Okay, so it's official. On Friday, we're going to just do us. We're going to have a no-holds-barred, say whatever we want to thing on Friday. So there you go, Jamie. Wide receivers, I almost can't even use my notes anymore. But, Jaden Reed is still in play. He's still my guy. He's so cheap. He's going to be the wide receiver 1. Dare I say, he is Debo light a little bit with his, just the way he plays, the way he's used and stuff. Don't really need to get into it a whole bunch here. Wide receiver 1 going up a Tampa Bay defense, 31st schedule adjusted fantasy points to wide receiver. So, that's a good play. Rashee Rice, wide receiver 1 in Kansas City now. Getting, just a high route right now, up over 80%. 9 targets and 7 catches at least in each of the last 3 weeks. Great play. I think Rashid Shaheed now opens up. He's in my cash lineup. No Chris Olave. I know he's kind of a deep threat kind of a guy. So I don't know exactly what his volume is going to look like. But, he's going to be the number 1 receiver there. And so I'm gonna take my chances there going up against the Giants defense that isn't anything to write home about. I like the Marcus Robinson already. He was in my cash lineup. Tutu Atwell, I mentioned earlier. I don't think he's going to play. Robinson saw 15 targets, resulted in 7 catches, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. And he saw 90% of the snaps last week, so he's a good cheap option. DeAndre Hopkins, revenge narrative. I talked about that. He's seen a lot of volume here recently. Houston 27th scheduled adjusted fantasy points to wide receivers, so that's fine. Garrett Wilson has seen just a ton of volume as well, at least 7 targets in every game except week 1. In Miami 24th scheduled adjusted fantasy points to wide receivers. Without Tyreek Hill, I guess I technically like Wilson just a little less, probably a little bit less likely now, if not a lot less likely that, the Dolphins put up as many points without Tyreek. We saw how much they struggled without him on the field last week. But if anything, maybe you just get an ownership discount now on Wilson for MME. And then Demario Douglas, he was another good punt option. Him or Wandale. You talked about Wandale too.
Both on Thursday. Demario Douglas for sure. Yeah. He's been out the last 2 weeks. And good to see he's back. That'd be great.
Yeah. For cash, I couldn't play Zeke and Douglas together, not in that offense. In MME, you can kind of do whatever the hell you want to. So I don't know that I would advise it at MME, but it's not the craziest thing you could ever do. Zeke is pretty cheap. Demario Douglas is pretty cheap. It could definitely work. Playing 2 Patriots without their quarterback is definitely a unique way to go about things. Maybe not so much this week, but I don't see a lot of people doing it. A lot of people are probably going to do like what I said for cash, kind of pick one or the other, but definitely not both.
Go from there, yeah.
But yeah, Wandale was interesting too. But yeah, let's pop into tight ends. I'll do mine real quick. Again, everything's pretty much stayed the same. The difference is instead of Chiggy Woo Woo, instead of Chigakonkwo, I've now moved over to Tucker Kraft. I think that with AJ Dillon being out and with those wide receivers being out there as well, I just think it opens up too much. And him and Reed are both so cheap that I think you can play them together in that game. Tampa's so bad on defense; they've been giving up so much that I think you can do it. And so I'm going to go Tucker Kraft and cash. But Okwanko is really good. Houston 30th in schedule adjusted fantasy points to tight ends, kind of targeted them. And then if you really want to, MME play, it's not going to be anything crazy or anything unique. But, Trey McBride is basically a wide receiver playing, in the tight end spot. We've talked all year long, or I've talked at least all year long about all these volume metrics and everything. And they are more reminiscent of a wide receiver than they are a tight end. And the matchup here isn't great. But, when you're playing theoretically, when you're playing a wide receiver in the tight end spot, I think you can kind of throw the matchup out because you're doing it because it's a good value and it's kind of the cheat code thing that I talk about with, a quarterback that can run or, a running back that is heavily involved in the passing game. Or, sometimes you get a receiver who ends up getting a handful of carries, and maybe not a handful, but 1 or 2 carries a game, like that does open up some value. And so Trey McBride is that guy at tight end. So you can go any which one of those ways that you want.
Yeah, and I still have the same exact sticky note on my notes. And before I could save this to the end, but I'll just do it now. I apologize. There was no bottom of the barrel wide receiver tight ends this week. I had a family friend pass away, just unexpectedly in the middle of the week, and it throws you for a loop. You know what I mean? It's not really not family per se blood, but as I was talking to you and Keith in a group chat, right? Sometimes those bonds are bigger and better than our actual blood family, right? And when someone goes unexpectedly, that's the whole thing. It throws you for a loop. You're asking yourself a million questions. All the W's, why, what, why him, why me, what is going on? Why did this happen? Especially like if it's your grandparents or your great grandparents in their 80s or 90s, right? You have a few months or a few years to go. Well, they've lived a good full life. They're beautiful. They're beautiful people. But when someone dies unexpectedly in their mid to late 50s, you're like, holy smokes, and you can't really concentrate on stuff. So to everybody out there who reads bottom of the barrel as much as they do, and I love everybody for that, let me my sincere apologies for no wide receiver or tight end this week. I do my best to try and fill the void on different broadcasts. That's why I went solo yesterday to talk about Saturday stuff, because I felt bad that I wasn't able to write the wide receiver and the tight end article due to an unexpected passing in my life. When we look at tight ends briefly, it's the same old. Logan Thomas, I think Tyler Higbee, a little bit of action. And if we like the idea of Garrett Wilson, he was on the thumbnail for the DFS den on Thursday. I like the idea of Garrett Wilson and also Tyler Conklin too, that 1-2 combo for the Jets. I mean, aside from Breece Hall or whatever else the Jets are going to be doing today, they're playing in Miami, and I had Miami to 45 plus points or 40 plus points. That could still happen, right? Tyreek Hill accounts for 21 himself probably, but when we look at this one, it opens it up a little bit. And if Tyreek's not playing, maybe the Jets, it gets a little, it puts a little flame under their ass or in their armpits, however the saying goes. And they're like, boom, we can really get it going and get it moving with Garrett Wilson. And Tyler Conklin is always a threat with those high target upside, meaning in the red zone inside the 10-yard line. And then just doubling down on Kyle Pitts. he's kind of come on a little bit, right? He's not a rookie anymore, but he's still super young. He came into the league at 20 years old, or was drafted when he was 19 or something crazy like that. And last week, Pitts received a touchdown, and he's not I said the same thing on Thursday. It's like working out the kinks of a stand-up show. It doesn't matter how you start. It's how you progress and learn and grow. And Kyle Pitts is doing that. The problem with Kyle Pitts, there is no problem with Kyle Pitts. The problem is all of us. It's all of the dummies on social media who expect certain things from people who we don't even know. And they're like, we want Kyle Pitts to be the stud. And when it doesn't happen, you blame him. Look within yourself, because Kyle Pitts is fine. He's a fantastic tight end, and he's going to be a great professional football player for a long time. And I'm going to use him today as much as I can. And also, I'm going to do that double tight end move where it's Kyle Pitts and also Dalton Kincaid for the Buffalo Bills. I know Kincaid had a Q next to his name, but from everything I've seen, it looks like Kincaid will be active today. And the Bills, it's a must win. Every game that the Bills play here from here on out, it's a must win. That one, they're at home against Dallas, going to be tough sledding, but I think they can get it done. Where are you going with the DSTs? We're right at about 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, about 30 minutes left before lock. You could start getting some questions rolling in. I'll do my best to answer. I know Mike behind the scenes, Mr. Mike LaPlant, is our producer. Thank you. Where are you going with your DSTs here today?
Yeah, I think it's either, I mean, it depends what salary you have left. It's either going to be, Browns, Rams, or Jets. For me, it falls onto the Rams. For MME this week, I don't think that there's really one defense that really stands out. That I would typically avoid in MME. Probably what it really comes down to now is, I think with the Tyreek news, I think a lot of people are going to jump on the Jets. They're so cheap. So if anything, I'd probably avoid the Jets just because I think their ownership is going to get steamed up. But what do you think? And then we've got one question that I do want to hit because I think I've got a good answer.
I think I have a good answer too, but I'll let you go first. When I'm looking at DSTs, again, I love the idea of the New Orleans Saints. They're at home against the Giants, but in a way you could say, well, you're contradictory with DeVito. You like DeVito and Wan'Dale Robinson. Just got to remind folks, I don't care how many points are scored and touchdowns. We're just looking for turnovers and sacks and fumbles and things along those lines. And while DeVito has played well, he is still young and inexperienced, and the Saints secondary, last I looked, is pretty nasty in terms of ball hawking and things along those lines. And it helps that the New Orleans Saints, I only have them given up around 14 to 17 points. And I also like the Atlanta Falcons. DST said that on Thursday. I have them beating Carolina 27-7, 24-7, something like that. And Atlanta on FanDuel is 4-5, and the New Orleans Saints on FanDuel is $4,600. So Dave, I'll ask you the question. Mike, if you want to bring that question up. Mike, what's your favorite multi-enter leverage stack, not including the Rams and Washington? What are you thinking here?
For me, it's Jordan Love and the Packers. I love the value with Reed, and I love the value with Kraft. And I don't think Jordan Love is going to get a lot of exposure necessarily. I think people are going to play Reed as a one-off. They're going to play Kraft as a one-off. But I like, I like putting them together. And then you do have a guy like Mike Evans that you can run that back with. You could run it back with, Rashid White as well. So for me, it's very clearly the Packers.
Mine is the New Orleans Saints, right? I'm in on their defense. I love that. When you look at this game, the Giants go to the Superdome. That place is rocking. I say it every time. And as it stands right now, the Giants are getting 6 points. When we look at the Saints, you get Derek Carr, you get Alvin Kamara. Now with the news that Chris Olave is not playing, there's a lot. Taysom Hill you could even use in a tight end spot, in a flex spot, however you want to do it. The Saints DST is in play. And some of their wide receivers like Rashid Shaheed. Right now, you could look at Shaheed, 3 to 4 targets, or actually 3 to 4 receptions, 65 yards and a touchdown. What are the chances Shaheed doesn't catch a just a random number, a 68-yard touchdown pass or a 72-yard touchdown pass here? And I don't think a lot of folks are going to be on the New Orleans Saints today in terms of ownership percentages. So to answer your question, you're looking at the Packers and you're looking at the Saints. Why not put both in the same lineup and just double it back? You put Love and the Green Bay Packers wide receivers, and then a couple, run backs with the Saints, and then you do the full Saints stack with a couple Green Bay Packers here. So Dave, before we split, anything you have on your mind you want to get off your chest before we get out of here for week 15?
No, sir. That's gonna do it. I wish everyone the best of luck, and lots to change. I imagine for everyone. There was some surprising news, so should have time to get it all set. And just looking forward to a fun day of NFL Red Zone. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's like today, it's like playing with the house's money, right? After yesterday, personally, after the Lions already won and they just blew out the Denver Broncos, today's house's money. I don't have to be irritated or stressed out or worried when's the Lions game coming. Are they, I don't have to worry about that. So, building lineups and just being in peace in the holiday season is what I'm looking for most. So everybody be good, be safe. The Sunday Night Football video, the Baltimore Ravens at Jacksonville, that single slate DFS video will be out in a few hours, and it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be an over kind of game for Sunday Night Football. So until we see you again next Thursday, be good, be safe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.